welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my latest find and project. This is a Honda XR70, and the dude posted it for 500 bucks on Facebook, and I instantly messaged him. I'm like, I'll give you 300, and he's like, I will in 2 weeks if no one buys it. And 2 weeks went by, no one bought it. So I get there and it's locked up. Now, I really didn't, I don't know, I just didn't want to be one of those marketplace dudes that, you know, low balls and all that stuff. I think I overpaid. I had regrets buying this thing before I even handed him money. But we had already agreed on 300. But all the plastics are here, even though this one looks like it might be cracked. And all the plastics are here. This looks like an oil pump. No, these are just extra seals and gaskets. Now, I did have a bunch of OEM Honda parts, which I thought was cool. And that was another reason why I didn't really haggle them. What is this? What else we got here? Brand new Honda throttle cable. A fresh set of grips. Some hose clamps. And this dude even spent the extra money. I don't even know if this dude knows about Amazon, because he spent the money on a brand new side cover. I don't know how much this is, but let's check out the bike. Let me get it out. All right, so this is it. It's a 03 XR70. It's the 03. That's probably the last year of the XR before they went to the CRF. It's pretty complete, seems like, but I did miss this. I just noticed this. It's pretty complete besides the rear brake lever. Great. And this is bent to freaking hell and back. I think we can bend that back. Yeah, it's got the OEM coil. This thing hasn't been Chinesed out. It does look like it has the original Keihin carburetor. It's hard to tell, but yeah, you can see right there on top. That's the OEM carburetor. Now, I don't know where that little nipple goes off the air box. It's interesting. This thing's got all kinds of hoses and bull crap. But let's see, how are the front bearings? All right, the front bearings are good. One thing I noticed when I first got there was the rear bearings are just shot. But it does seem to have air in it. So I paid $300. Like I said, it's locked up tight. He said he did a top end on it, which you can see that I don't know. Maybe he did. And then his dad wrote it, and the dad wrote it, and it locked up. He says the oil pump's bad, but you know, I don't know. These things, if they got oil in them, they'll run. So I think he just didn't have any oil in it. Front lever's broken. You know, the throttle cable's good. Just needs a new grip, which he gave us new grips. Now I looked up a crank for this thing. You know, OEM used ones like 50 bucks. Brand new ones like 150 to 200. I think you can get a stroker crank for 200 bucks. But I already spent too much on this thing. So I found a Chinese one that says it's like a upgraded heavy duty crank, which, I mean, how heavy duty does it need to be for this? So that's $75. And then an oil pump's like $25, maybe $15. And then the gasket's like $15. I don't know. It comes for about $115 for what I think we need to get this thing running. I guess we'll start taking it apart. Okay, I have my Work area all cleared out for this thing. I've already cracked the drain bolt loose. So let's see what the oil looks like here. If there is any oil. Not a whole lot. And that would probably be why it blew up. All right, so a good place to start is probably right here. Take off the front sprocket, 2 bolts. And you have a little retaining clip here. It's interesting, this looks like it's been chewed up. I guess I'll have to get that off here with 2 hands. Which this doesn't even look like the typical type of splines on like an XR50. Maybe it's different on an XR70. Yeah, it's definitely different. I've never seen that before. Take off this throttle slide off the carburetor. Should just be able to pull this out like that. Boom. And then maybe the air filter here, 10 millimeter. Also, looks like there's a ground there. Oh, great. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Probably just put a pod filter setup on it anyways. We can disconnect the wiring in here now. Bullet connectors. Check out this customs. I think this whole engine should just come out now. Oh. I got the strongest fuel line ever. I would just rip it off or cut it, but hey, when you get a fuel line that strong, I think you better save it, buddy. Looks like we can just pop these out. Some 8mm bolts for the cam gear. Just slide out. Take the cam gear off. That's some weird wear marks on it. Maybe not with that. We need a wrench. All right, head looks pretty solid. This top end head gasket looks pretty good. Cylinder seems a little dry, but whatever. Get this cam idler wheel bolt out. Now our cylinder should pop right off. Look at that. Oh, some junk is trying to enter the engine, which I guess is okay. Oh, wow. Homie said he replaced the top end. I don't think so. Oh, look. The top end, or the engine is turning over. I just noticed that. However, this is seized on there. The piston is. So this might even be an easier fix than I thought. I'm sure we can get a top end pretty cheap for this thing. Now the big trick is getting this wrist pin out. These are small parts right here. There we go. Now, yeah, like I suspected, it's not gonna pop right through. We're gonna have to figure out some sort of bolt situation to make a puller. So let's go ahead and pull both of these circlips out. Here we go. Yeah, there's 2 different types of clips in there. Seems to turn over smooth. Let's guess I gotta figure out some sort of puller. Okay, so here's a kit that comes with the head for $47, and I can get it tomorrow. So I'm gonna order this. It even comes with the head. There's mixed reviews on it. It comes with a full gasket set and everything. Has the head. It comes with mixed reviews, not worth it. Only could use the head. Gaskets didn't match up. Threads were stripped. Whatever. Let's see if we can make it work. So we're gonna add to cart, and we're gonna buy this sucker. We'll see it tomorrow. That. We run her down with the big impact. Oh, things are bending. Piston cracked. Thought it was moving, but all the wrong things are moving. Let's continue. Oh yeah. Gone to hell. Which, that's okay, you know. I don't expect any piston to do okay when there's no oil. Well, let's hope our $70 or $50 kit tomorrow lasts longer. Okay, now we got something else to work with here. We can probably do the same thing, but do it directly over the rod. Okay, here's my latest iteration. We got a bolt, and then a spacer, and then we got our all-thread nut again with some washers. Now, we're gonna add some pressure, and then maybe we'll use some heat. Well, looks like it's going now. All right, now I think we just bottomed out on our spacer here on the left side. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So now we gotta swap to something different. Bottom out on this side, so we need this spacer. And then there's washers here to space everything out. All right, hopefully we don't strip anything out here. All right, let's go. All right. We're getting closer here. So I think the situation is now we need a longer bolt maybe. Here's the engine bolt, the motor mount bolt. I wonder if we can do anything here. Let's try this. This should work. This should get us in the home stretch now. Perfect. What a nightmare. Oh yeah, look at the freaking chunk in that wrist pin. One of our rods, all right. Oh yeah, she looks a little scorched. But on engines like these that are not high performance, I've gotten away with, you know, just cleaning that out. I mean, if we just get rid of that high spot, I think we'll be all right. All right, we're getting further. It's going more than halfway now. Okay, I got it here. It goes in. There's a little play. When I don't know. I think it'll work for $47. I think I'm willing to risk it, so we don't have to go into the bottom end of this thing. See you tomorrow. All right, here's the box. Our fresh top end came in, and this is what we got. It's a $47 kit, and it came with this head, which there were some mixed reviews about this head, and I don't know. I mean, it looks like it'll work, but we don't need it, I believe. I think ours is just fine. But we have a cylinder, we have a piston, we have a wrist pin, which I put on the rod here, the rings, and the circlips. We got a brand new, look at this, spark plug. Doesn't have any numbers on it. And a gasket kit. Now, in the previous clip, this wrist pin was a little loose, you know, from the way I cleaned it up with our little sanding, you know, Dremel drill guy. And so what I did, I got it tightened up. It is a little snug, but I just took my ball peen hammer right here and I just tapped like the edges of it. You know, tap, hit it pretty hard, hit it soft, whatever you want to say. So now we have a pretty snug fit. There's no more play in it. You know, for a high performance engine, probably not the best thing to do, but I suspect this engine will be fine. Now, another thing I noticed was this is all boogered up on the flywheel, and we're missing a bolt on the little pickup coil. So this had to have worked if it blew up, I guess. I'm not sure, so I didn't check to see if we have spark because it was locked up. But anywho, I'm gonna start putting this thing back together.
Got a dirt bike, dream a little rough at the seams. XR70's calling louder than my schemes. Drop $50 on a piston and a bore. Amazon box landed right at my door. Overpaid a bit, yeah, I took the shot. Now it's me and the tools in a 4-stroke plot. Fingers crossed, valves in tune.
So now we gotta do is clean this carburetor out, because check out this. Check out that gunk in there. Let's see. Yum. So that should be interesting. But I'm about to go to the gym, and I will mess with that when I get back. We'll throw it in the bike here, see what happens. See if we got spark because of this damaged flywheel. Okay, it's the next day. Didn't make it back in here last night. Looks like he may have had this on backwards, and it's missing the O-ring. No O-ring popped out. Interesting. You see, there's supposed to be an O-ring here, and there's that O-ring, which would, this O-ring would seal up against the intake over here, and then this one would seal up against the plastic heat spacer here, and that's not how it was. So let's see how bad this carburetor is. Okay, not terrible. There's definitely some sludge in the bottom of there, some junk, but it does seem like our needle valve is stuck. Oh yeah, there's some junk in there, but it looks like it'll clean up. Let's hope. Yeah. Looks like the whole emulsion tube is going to come out, which is fine because there was some junk in there. Pilot jet. I finally got this pilot jet cleaned out, and it appeared to be clear, but I couldn't see light through it. Between some brake cleaner and this old jet cleaning tool, it came with a Chinese carburetor, and I unwound this wire here. It's like two wires wound together. I unwound it, and I've just been working it back and forth, and finally it goes all the way through now. So that's good. I can see light clear through it. Nice round hole. So when I sprig through here, it should come out the hole. Whoa. It was definitely plugged. That is a small needle valve. Throw this pin in to hold the float. Might be going backwards here. There we go. All right, working perfectly now there. Okay, that all appears to be cleared. Better. The main. Oh my gosh. That's just nasty. That's just nasty. much better. Okay, so it looked like they had some sealer on here previously, and this gasket does feel, you know, like it's dried out. Okay, let's see if we can find an O-ring for this carburetor. Scabbard. Let's see. That one looks a little big. And this one looks a little small, but maybe we can make it stretch. Oh, come on. How is this my life? Okay, I cut a little piece out. And when we cinch it down, it should seal. Let's hope. Maybe what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of this Honda bond on there. Tighten up our drain plug here. Okay, I got the bike wedged in between the Nerf bar and the tire. This bolt goes on the bottom here for the return spring. Okay, we're getting close here. Let's make sure there's no gasket in there. There might be one. Oh yeah, there's still one in there. I don't know if that joker's coming out though. Yep, there it goes, right there. Check that out. The old one. Okay, here's our new one. I just put some grease on it, and our new gasket should stick in there with the grease. Let's get the exhaust on here. Okay, so for some bizarre reason, someone had put this square head bolt in here, and I think it's American, so I don't know what the deal is. I think this is the right style bolt that should go in here. Perfect. Okay, here's 500 milliliters of oil. We'll just dump this in here. And I'll go fill this up with 250. All right, this is 300, but it's close enough. All right. I see the fuel filter filled up, so that should be enough to get her started. Now, the next thing I need to do is put the spark plug boots on, make sure the key is on. I think that's it to see if we can get it started. I obviously don't have the foot pegs or side cover on or anything. All of these wires are hooked up, so let's see what happens here. Look at that. adjust the valves. I didn't even check those. Matter of fact, you see the tight? Seems to be running good. I do hear a little chatter from the flywheel. That noise is not the top end, it's over here by the flywheel. Which maybe that'll go away once the cover's on. But I'm gonna shut this thing off. Whoop. Let's pull this flywheel off and see if there's anything in there going on. Come on. This is when it's helpful to have a magnet. But I always seem to lose my magnets. There we go. Let's see. Is it left-hand thread? I can't remember on these. Yeah. Left-hand thread on the flywheel. Alright, I think we're on plenty. Let's zip the puller. There we go. It's a little dirty. There's some dirt in there. Maybe we were hearing the dirt. Now, if you remember, did mention that this nut or this bolt right here is missing. Also looks to be a little bent. Let's see if we can bend it back in. There goes the whole motorcycle. But we're gonna clean this up inside and out because I think there's some dirt in here that was, making a noise. Yeah, there's a bunch of dirt in there. Okay, let's see if we can find a bolt for in here. Perfect. Here's our washer and our nut. All right, let's try her out. I don't know, did we make it worse? But I don't know, we might be out of gas. What have I done? I am getting some oil out of somewhere. Right here, maybe? Why is oil coming out of this hole? I do not appreciate that. Keyway's there. I don't think I messed anything up in here. Okay, I just cleaned the carburetor again. spark plug real quick. Put on our spark plug. It does seem like this engine is really hot. I mean, 150, that's not that bad. 160, 150, 160, maybe that's about right. It's very odd that after I brake cleaned that, it decided it's not gonna run right. Okay, so I pulled the flywheel off, and you know, we did have this damage here. Okay, so I brought the flywheel outside, and I've marked the edge where it originally was, because there still is a little lip there. I marked that, and I'm going to see if I can weld this up and see if I can weld it up and smooth it out, make it any better. Okay, also in case my mark gets lost in the abyss, I'm going to measure this, and it's 14.8 millimeters. Close here, we're at 15.1, which the original dimension probably was 15. Now, zoomed out here. Looks pretty good. I got a nice sharp edge on the front here, and let's go see if this fixes it. Looks good. Let's see what happens. Well, that didn't fix our issue. Now, the only other thing I can think of is, you know, the bike did fall over. Maybe there was some water in there. I did drain the tank out, right? But there was just a little bit left in there. And maybe it was on this side, and then I dropped it, and I don't know. I'm going to drain the fuel, clean the carburetor one time. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to let all that drain out. Okay, well, maybe there's concerns about my O-ring here for the carburetor side. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it was not sealing, but if that was not sealing, that could definitely be our issue. So I went ahead and cut out this beautiful gasket. I'm going to put some Honda Bond on either side. We'll throw this sucker back together. I cleaned the carburetor out really good. I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but I made sure the needle was cooperating. Okay, so another thing I just noticed that I forgot about is this ground wire is not tight, so that could be an issue. Let's see what happens now. Could have been all three of them causing an issue. The ground, could have been some bad fuel in here. I did drain it out originally, but there was still a little bit left in there. Could have been messing up the whole gig. You know, I don't know, it's still making that flywheel noise, which doesn't seem terrible. But anyways, we definitely got the our pickup fine-tuned, so that always helps. This bolt is still leaking oil, so they must have thrown a bolt in there. It was too long at one point. So probably have to come up with something there. Okay, so now that we got this thing running, let's button it up and let's do a little time lapse.
Got a dirt bike, dream a little rough at the seams. XR70's calling louder than my schemes. Drop 50 bucks on a piston and a bore. Amazon box landed right at my door. Overpaid a bit, yeah, I took the shot. Now it's me and the tools in a 4-stroke blot. Fingers crossed, valves in tune. Hoping this engine sings real soon. Oh, I'm holding on to hope. 4-stroke heart alive. Piston pumping strong, cylinder built to thrive. Honda's gonna roar, kicking dust up high. 50 bucks well spent, watch this bike fly.
Alright, so this is the front brake. Looks like he's just got it zip tied on there to not be flailing around. Luckily, I have this front brake lever, so we'll throw this on real quick. Okay, I got our brake lever installed, but the brakes barely work anyways. But I did get new shoes that actually came in today, and I've ridden this thing around. You can see I got it on the ground here. And that's because it's still making that funny noise. I've ridden this thing around quite a bit, and I don't think there's an issue with the engine. Like, I think it would have blown up already by now, right? But I think it's the timing chain, or maybe the timing chain tensioner. So let's pop this off. Or rather, let's pop this off and we'll get it back to, we'll get to the point where the flywheel's off, and then I'll show you what's up next. Okay, so everything's off here. Well, we need to clean all this up a little bit. All this dirt out, so no dirt gets in the engine. Looks like it helps if we would take this off. The actual ignition system. Now the internet will tell you you're supposed to use like a Japanese industrial standard socket here, which is Phillips head, but it's probably true. But let's see if this will work. I don't know, it's looking a little dicey here. The bottom one. Oh yeah, look at that chain right there. That chain is just absolutely loose. Why is it so loose? Huh. Oh, what the heck? It just... I don't know what's going on with this guy. This is the chain tensioner spring. Looks fine now. I think this chain just might be stretched out so much because this, I mean, that's basically as far as it'll go, I think. Doesn't seem like it wants to go much. And it's still loose. Maybe not. Okay, I just noticed while I'm editing this video, this plunger right here is installed backwards. If you rewind, you can tell this black tip is supposed to go to the top there, up against the chain tensioner. So maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Now, I had already suspected there was an issue here, so I had ordered like a little Chinese kit off the internet. It was like $20, and it came with an oil pump too. Now this chain could be, wore out. Maybe it could have just been binding up for whatever reason, for no reason at all, really. Tension on that thing. Is that spring wore out? I'm gonna go look on my TRX90 engine, see how that spring is. Those TRX90 springs are just as wimpy as the other one. It could be possible that this is stretched out and could be stretched out, and then the mechanical advantage of this being at the end of its throw with the spring could be why it's not that tight. But it seems like it's better than it was before. I think something was binding up. Seems to be working good. All right, so now is the moment of truth. If that tensioner was causing us issues, binding up for some reason, I think our fuel is on. The petcock only works one way. So, let's see, keys on. Where's the key? Everything's... Guess we'll have to wait for that chain to come in. All right, I've got some fresh parts here. New timing chain, some rollers, and an oil pump. Now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna use the oil pump or not. Now, something I just noticed is this guy right here. That thing is freaking all messed up looking right there on both sides. That would probably be because this was upside down, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm not sure if this tensioner is like oil pressure activated or what. Could be. So I'm not sure if this plunger is oil pressure activated or not, but let me know down in the comments. So I've already taken some stuff apart here. Should be able to pop this cam gear off like that. That. Get this roller out. Okay, I was able to fish out this roller. There's nothing really looks wrong with this roller. But we got the chain out. So I wonder what the difference is between the two chains we got here. I will say the one I got seems a lot heavy dutier, if that's a thing. So you can see at the top here, the links line up. And then slowly, they don't line up anymore. So our new one is shorter by just a hair, but maybe that's all we need. So I'm gonna throw this baby on now. So another thing I'm noticing is that the ridge on their new roller is taller. So I'm gonna install that one. All right, so I have the new timing chain in here, and the tensioner is not even hooked up yet, and it's way tighter. So that is a good sign. Now, I think I do have everything timed up correctly, but we can't check that till I put the flywheel back on. I was able to get that new roller in here too. So I'll time this thing up, and next time you'll see it, we'll see what it sounds like. Here is the moment of truth. If our timing chain has solved the issue. Wait, I had to put the spark plug cap on. that noise is not the top end, it's over here by the flywheel. Way quieter. Waiting on the air filters, pod filters to come in. You know, carburetor makes a little noise. That sucking noise. Alright, so you saw in the previous clip, this little stupid bolt fell out. Anyways, I put it back in. Looks like we're almost out of gas or something here. Anywho, I've been running this thing around the yard, just playing with it. Now, we did overfill it with oil, just a hair. And this thing, when you start really running it hard, it'll start smoking a little bit out the back, and then it'll stop. So I don't know what that's all about. Could be, I know that the oil rings did give me a run for my money. They were really difficult to get in there. Maybe they're not sized correctly. I'm not too sure. Let's check the oil. Oh yeah, seems a little high maybe. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it's definitely on the dipstick. It's hard to tell if it's actually high or not. Might be a little high. It's hard to tell. Anywho, it's got oil in it. And so another thing I did not record is I fixed all the brakes. So I put a new rod on here, new rear wheel bearings, new shoes, new lever, new OEM Honda spring, and put new shoes on the front as well. So it's all working. So let's take this baby for our rip.
Got a dirt bike, dream a little rough at the seams. XR70's call and louder than my schemes. Drop $50 on a piston and a bore. Amazon box laid it right at my door. Overpaid a bit, yeah, I took the shot. Now it's me and the tools in a four-stroke plot. Fingers crossed, valves in tune.
All right, that's gonna finish up the video here on the XR70. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think about the $47 top end. I think I'm gonna put an hour meter on it. We'll see how long, maybe I'll run it for like 100 hours and we'll take it back off, see how bad it is. So, make sure you subscribe for the next project.
Real Jesse Peterson finds in the rough, dirt bikes, quads, beat up stuff, marketplace